So we'll start. Okay. Good morning, students. Welcome to Oxford Brookes University seminar. It's time to discover, where we have Manan, who's our campaign marketing officer, and Simon, who's our global recruitment officer. Could I please request all the students to mute their mic till the end of the session? And if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat box below, and we will answer them at the end of the session. Could I please request Simon and Manam to introduce themselves?
Hi guys, my name's Manan. I work at Oxford Brookes University as a campaign marketing officer. Today we are here to just give you a teaser about how life is at Brookes and how is it about studying in Oxford. I'll just pass over the mic to Simon now. He'll take you ahead with this journey with the presentation.
Thanks very much, Manan. And yes, my name's Simon and I'm going to be giving the presentation. I'm just going to share my screen now and then we will get going. Okay, so welcome to Oxford Brookes University. My name's Simon Davis and I am the Global Recruitment Officer here at Brookes. And today I'm going to give you a brief introduction to the university. I'm going to be speaking about our main courses, accommodation, scholarships, how to apply, and general information that you're going to find really useful. And I hope you find very engaging today in this presentation. Now, I understand that many of you will be interested in applying for perhaps an undergraduate course or a postgraduate course. You've shown some interest in Oxford Brookes. So as discussed earlier, please leave all of your questions in the chat and we will get round to answering them at the end. So I'm just going to begin by introducing a bit about our location. For those of you who are perhaps from abroad and are not entirely sure exactly where Oxford is located, we're just northwest of London, 1 hour to be precise. This is a lovely photo of the main high street going through Oxford. As you may be aware, there are actually two universities in the city, the University of Oxford and our university, the Oxford Brookes University. So that means that 1 in 4 adults are actually students in the city. So it's a really student-centered city, fantastic place to be, lots of young people and lots of activities to do around the city. It's a center for industry. So we have a lot of our students who come to study with us at Brookes go on to work in local businesses in the city. And we also have access to the Bodleian Library, which is the main historic university library in the centre of Oxford that both the University of Oxford and Oxford Brookes students can use. So it's a really, really exciting place to be. Very easy to get to both airports from Heathrow, from Stansted, and it's a very fun place to live. So in these photos here, you can see a bit more about the city. We have on the left the famous Sheldonian Theatre that is right in the heart of the city. We have our law building on the bottom left. This is the graduation for Oxford Brookes at our law building last year. Then the main high street that runs through the town. Now Oxford Brookes is actually just located 10 minutes outside of the main centre. So it's in a nice peaceful park. A lovely campus, beautiful campus, and you can walk down into the centre of Oxford from there. And then on the right-hand side, you'll see a few photos of our main campus, the Forum, which is the central meeting point of the university, where we have study spaces, cafes, and very modern architecture, which students love coming to in between their classes. So why decide to study at Oxford Brookes? So the main reason, one of the main reasons, is obviously our academic excellence. We are constantly ranked in the top 50 institutions under 50 years old. So Oxford Brookes is quite a new university. We're among the world's top universities in 13 individual subject areas, 10 university in 3 subject areas, and 95% of Oxford Brookes students are in employment and or further study within 6 months of graduating. So we have excellent teaching all of our academics are currently working in their field of study, so they have experience in working in businesses within the UK and internationally, and they are then bringing that experience of the real world, the real working world, into our degrees, into our courses, so that what you're learning is going to be relevant for the future. And we're also, we were ranked second in the UK for teaching in the Times Higher Education Young University rankings, which shows the prestigious nature of our academics. So let me introduce to you a bit about our faculties. So what can you actually study at Oxford Brookes? We have four main faculties. We have the Oxford Brookes Business School, which hosts our business school and our School of Hospitality Management. And we have a number of courses within the business school for undergraduate and postgraduate study. We have our Faculty of Health and Life Sciences, which hosts all of our biological and medical sciences, psychology, health and professional development, sport, health sciences and social work, and nursing, which are really, really important to our university. Within our Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, we have our School of Education, English and Modern Languages, History, Law, and Social Sciences. And then one of our flagship courses is our Faculty of Technology, Design and Environment, where our School of Architecture, which is the oldest School of Architecture in the UK of all of the universities, even though it's based in a beautifully modern building, it actually holds the title of the oldest architecture school in the UK. We also have our School of Arts, Built Environment, and another big one, the School of Engineering, Computing and Mathematics. And I'll be going into a bit more detail about our School of Engineering, which is another fantastic course at Oxford Brookes. So this gives you just an outline of our main courses. And if you have any questions about those courses, you can write them on the chat. And obviously on our website, we give all of the information about entry requirements, course content, and you can also speak with myself or people at SI UK to find out more. So let's talk a bit about what's it actually like to be part of the Oxford Brookes student life. So there really is something for everyone in Oxford and at Oxford Brookes University. If you're into going to different museums, if you're into learning about history, architecture, the City of Oxford is a perfect place to be. It has so many great museums to visit. We have the Ashmolean Museum, which is the oldest museum in the UK. We have lots of fantastic fun pubs, as you can see in the Head of the River pub in the photo below. There's also punting, which you may have heard about, going out on a boat on the river, which you can do in Cambridge and Oxford, which is a fantastic activity. So in between your classes, at the weekends, after classes, there's so much to do, lots of sport, lots of exploring, and it's a really, really fun, exciting place to be. So a lot of our students who have come from lots of different countries around the world have left their kind of comments about how their experience was. One of the students here, Yulia, who studied international law, says her teachers were lovely. She would say that they're actually friends, first of all, more like mentors. You can feel that they enjoy sharing their knowledge, their experience. Dashul from India, he felt like the environment was really good. Everyone was very welcoming. And it was a bit more kind of smaller, welcoming environment than, say, London, for example. That's a much bigger city. Oxford's a nice, small city where you can feel part of the community. And even though I was giving you those rankings earlier, I was telling you about how brilliant our academics are, how we're very well ranked in all of the different education rankings. It's more than just our rankings. Living and studying in Oxford, it's a world famous city. People from around the world, employers, academics, they really know about the city of Oxford. It's not famous just because of its name. It's because you really feel part of the city. You really understand that there's so much going on. There's a lot of history and there's a lot of education taking place in the city at all levels. You can gain fundamental skills and global experience to succeed in your chosen career. So Oxford Brookes places a lot of focus on work placements. In our courses, you can actually do a work placement year in many of them. And again, I'll be going into this in a bit more detail later. For those of you who are from around the world, from different countries, you can get the experience of a new country and a new culture in the United Kingdom, whilst being surrounded by people from all around the world. You'll make international friends and you'll get the student support you need when you arrive. So going into a bit more detail now about the courses. So earlier on, I went through briefly all of the different faculties that we have in the university. And now I just want to go through a bit more highlights because these are our main programs where we get the majority of students on. So our business school offers flexible programs and placements. So we have connections with lots of the very important associations, including the ACCA connection, which is the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. So that means that they look at our courses and they realize that it reaches an excellent level to be part of their association. We have very, very strong links with companies. So these are both companies in the local area, in Oxford, in the UK, and around the world. So some of these companies that I've listed here, IBM, BMW, Microsoft, Nestle, these are fantastic international companies that we have strong links with and that we can offer you placements as part of your program. And we invite speakers in from leaders of these companies to really tell you what's going on in their companies. We offer business students the opportunity to pitch entrepreneurial startup ideas and receive funding in a Thrive, which is one of our funding programs at the university. We have paid work placements, visiting speakers and industry visits. We have experienced academics who work in organizations, including the UN, so the United Nations, Red Bull, KPMG. And you're going to be learning, you're going to be attending classes with these guys. And we also offer flexible program starts. So we have January starts, so not just September. You can also start your course in January, do your first semester from January to May, and your second semester from September to December. So you have flexibility depending on what your needs are, when you can travel to the UK, what you're currently studying. You can decide if you want to start in September or in January. Architecture is another of our very, very well-known programs at Oxford Brookes. Like I told you earlier, it's one of the oldest schools of architecture in the UK. It also has, it's accredited by these associations, so very important British associations, the RIBA, the Royal Institute of British Architects, ARB, Architects Registration Board, and LAM, the Board of Architects from Malaysia. So we have a lot of Malaysian students come over to study our architecture programs. It's actually open 24 hours, so our students can they can study throughout the evening. If they're working on a big project, they have 24-hour access, and they have all the high quality facilities that they need, so including laser cutting, 3D printers, and a Studio Mac. So all of the cutting edge facilities they have at Oxford Brookes. We have international field trips, so our students go and visit important architectural sites around the world, do projects. And they also have a student society, like all of our programs at Oxford Brookes. They have a student society called OxArch, which organises debates, invites guest speakers and events, and all of the students can get involved. So this is something to look out for. Whatever course you're interested in at Oxford Brookes, you can actually join a student society and meet new friends, and they will all be interested in what you're studying. So I've discussed business with you. I've discussed architecture, and now I want to just briefly touch on mechanical engineering and motorsport. So mechanical engineering and motorsport, it's quite a niche course. You can't study this everywhere in the UK, so that's why Oxford Brookes, we're very proud that we have this course. And we have a long-standing reputation for delivering top-quality engineering and motorsport degrees. So if there's any students who have a passion for road cars, race cars, or designing cars, this is the career for you. And all of our courses, again, are fully accredited by the important institutions, the Institute of Engineering and Technology, and the Institute of Mechanical Engineering. We have incredible facilities. We have engine test cells, 4-post shaker rigs for vehicle dynamics. So these are actually what the car engines use. We have Formula One cars from Mercedes that they've given us their, I believe it's the 2014 version of their Formula One car that you can work on, that you can go and visit, that our students use to base their own work placements on. And every year we have an event called the Formula One team event, Formula One student, which takes place in Silverstone, which is the largest Formula One circuit in the UK, which is part of the Formula One circuit. And our students go and actually race with 130 different universities from around the world. These are the courses that are available in mechanical engineering and motorsport. So as you can see, we have some really up-to-date futuristic courses, automotive engineering with electric vehicles, electromechanical engineering, mechanical engineering design, and motorsport technology. So it really is an exciting place to study motorsport and mechanical engineering. And actually, you can see here the photo. This is our Oxford Brookes team from last year, our mechanical engineers who went to Silverstone. They built, they tested and raced their small-scale Formula-style racing car, and it's actually happening this weekend, the next one in Silverstone, and all the universities from around the world are coming, so Oxford Brookes will be there. And finally, another course I'd just like to go into a bit more detail about, because it's a very, very important course, very interesting. Lots of students from around the world come to this. The computing, mathematical sciences and digital technologies. So if you have a passion for computers and technology, you can actually turn this into a career and learn about the theory, the computer courses, the practical side of things, and get some work experience. We are beginning to introduce a lot of information about AI, artificial intelligence, which you're obviously hearing about a lot in the news. It's becoming more and more important, and we feel that our students need to start exploring this, and our academics teach you about this. You'll be taught by academics who are expert in their fields and passionate about future technology and the solutions it can provide. Again, like all of our subjects, we have modern state-of-the-art workshops, laboratories, computer facilities, and media studios. It really is very impressive if you get the opportunity to come and visit. And again, you can spend a year working in industry on a work placement before you finish your final year. And hopefully this will give you a full-time job when you finish. And again, these are the courses available. We actually have a BA, BSc, Bachelor's in Science in Artificial Intelligence, computer science for cyber security, which is another really interesting course, information technology for business, and mathematics. So now that I've gone into a bit more detail about some of our main courses here at Oxford Brookes, I just want to again touch on work placements, which I've been mentioning throughout my presentation. Is at Oxford Brookes, we really do feel this is a really important part of your course. It puts you ahead of other students when you're looking for jobs after. Now, your visa covers the duration of the work placements. There's no need to apply separately. It's all part of your course, as long as you select what we call the sandwich mode option, which is when you have your work placement in the second or third year. We will provide you with exclusive workplace placements that only Oxford Brookes students can get. So like I explained to you, we have these connections in a number of companies. These companies have received students from us in the past. They know that they're very good, they're reputable, and for that reason, they trust us. So therefore, we are able to offer work placements in the following companies that I've listed here. So Apple, BMW Mini, which is based in Oxford, Formula One Ferrari, Ernst & Young, Four Seasons, Rolls-Royce, IBM, Microsoft, Intel, Warner Bros, and UK Biocenter. These are just a few of them. There's many more, but I think you would agree there's some really, really impressive names on there, and you can get some fantastic work experience. And we offer mentors from industry experts. So all of our mentors will come in. They will actually interview you. They can connect you with these entrepreneurs, with these business experts, and you can be monitored whilst you're on these courses to ensure you're doing well. And a lot of our job work placements are paid as well. They're paid work placements, not the full salary, but you will receive money for doing that, which is even better. You're not only getting paid, but you're getting work experience. So look out for this in all of our courses. As well as our work placements, our career service is another fantastic service that we offer to our students. Now, this is available for up to 3 years after you graduate. So as soon as you join, you will be offered one-to-one consultations, interview advice. We will give you employer events on campus, and you will be given all of the sort of advice, information, and support you need to help you find the job that you're looking for. So our career service are also available to give you international student resources, not just in the UK. If you're perhaps thinking about going back to your home country after a few years, or if you'd like to stay in the UK, we can give you really good support throughout your time at Oxford Brookes. And another very important service that we offer is student support and well-being. So we like to say your success is our success. So again, like the career service, we also give you academic development and support, because a lot of you will be coming from education systems around the world, from India, from Africa, from the Americas, from Europe, and maybe you're not used to how we study in the UK, because it is different. We have different, we have seminars, we have lectures, we have essays that perhaps you haven't had in your home country. So we get you used to how the UK education system works, so you feel more confident and you're more successful as a result of this. We give you inclusive support. So for any disabilities that you may have, including dyslexia, we give you specialist mentoring. And when you apply to us, if you have any of these, then please let us know, and then we can support you from the very start. We have a multi-faith chaplaincy, so we have a chapel on service. So whenever you would like to use that, this is open to all of our students. We have free counselling and mentoring throughout your time. So you really are very well supported if you're an international student or from the UK and you come to Oxford Brookes. We can guarantee you that you will receive all of this extra support. Now, this is a fun thing that I'd like to discuss, the Brookes Union. So the Student Union is a very, very interesting part of your UK university life. Every university in the UK has one, and Oxford Brookes is no different. We have the Brookes Union. It has over 100 clubs and societies that you can join. So from sports, if you like football, rugby, tennis, whatever kind of sport you like, performing arts. I've even put, there's a Harry Potter society there for those students who like that. And you will automatically become part of the Brookes Union when you join the university, whatever you're studying. Every student becomes a member. And in the first week or two, we have our Freshers Week, and you will be able to join all of these clubs, whatever society you like, debating societies, and become part of the university. It's a great way to meet new friends, a great way to continue doing your passions and meeting new people. They also give you housing and financial advice. So if you're looking for accommodation outside of the university, then they can help you. And we have student-led campaigns and trips around the UK. So they will be taking you down to London, to different historical cities in the UK, maybe some beach trips to Scotland sometimes. So really, really great place to come when you join Brookes. And I've listed all the sports here that we offer. We have teams, different teams, clubs in all of these different sports. I know the football team are particularly good. There's rowing. If this is something you've never tried before, then rowing is really, really strong at Oxford Brookes. Maybe you might have heard of the Oxford-Cambridge rowing boat race. Now, often Oxford Brookes actually beats University of Oxford and University of Cambridge in some of these races, so they're really good. We also have some climbing facilities. You'll see there I've put climbing. Now, we have 3 fantastic indoor climbing facility rocks, very, very high up. I wouldn't like to go on them myself, but all of our students love going on them, and you can have different classes for beginners. We also have indoor facilities for football. We have hockey outdoors, so loads of different sports to do at Oxford Brookes. Accommodation, this is a very important part for your stay, especially in your first year. If you're coming to study a 3-year degree with us, we can offer on-campus accommodation to the majority of our first year students. We have 750 en-suite rooms, just 5 minutes from the university. So when you apply for your course and if you want accommodation, then you need to tick it. There's a box you can tick on the application form that says, I'd like accommodation. And we feel it's the best way to become part of the community, to meet new friends, and it's a very safe and supportive environment as well. So I've put the link at the bottom there. If you have some time after, go on our accommodation website page and look at all the different options that you have. So funding and tuition. So another very important part of studying in the UK, you will need to consider this and to work out all of the costs to studying. Our undergraduate fees are generally between £15,000 and £17,000 in total. So that will include, well, it doesn't include any of your scholarships. So we offer an international scholarship at Oxford Brookes. There's a deadline that you have to apply before, which is normally in April, May, around April, May time, if you're looking to apply for September. So unfortunately, it's passed already for this September. So we can't offer any scholarships if you're looking to come this September. But look out for that. And depending on what country you are from, we also have some scholarships for that. We have an EU scholarship for students who are based in the European Union and are considering studying at Oxford Brookes. And you will receive all this information when you make your application. So in terms of applying, you have a number of different options. You can apply through UCAS, through the main UCAS system, which is where you can choose a number of different universities, 5 different universities in the UK, and you can have your first choice and backup choice from them. You can also apply directly to us. I think my best advice would be to go through SI UK, who know our processes. They know exactly how we work, and they will have people on hand who will be able to guide you through how to apply to Oxford Brookes. We offer virtual tours for you. So I've put the page there if you'd like to have a look around our campus online if you can't make it to the UK. If you can make it to the UK, then we're very happy to book you a campus tour. We can show you around. But if not, you can look at some of our recorded tours as well on YouTube. And they're really, really great way to get inside the campus and to see all of our locations. These applicant days have just passed. We will be setting some new ones soon for 2023 in autumn and for 2024 early next spring. So have a look at these. If you've applied to us, you can come and visit. Like I said, you can book a campus tour, and we also post some virtual taster sessions so you can actually see how our academics work, and you can listen into a subject of your choice. So that brings to the conclusion my presentation today. I hope it's given you an overview of Oxford Brookes. I hope I've explained to you a bit about our courses, about how we work as an institution, about Oxford, about it being such a great place to study. And if you have your questions now, I think my colleagues Shagun and Manan will have a look at the chat, and I will answer some of your questions. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for listening. And let's go on to the questions now.
Thank you, Manan. That was an amazing presentation. So we have a few questions coming in now. So I'll just be asking you them. We have first question. Can international students find jobs while they are studying?
Yeah, very good question. Yes, so absolutely. Now, I believe both through Oxford Brookes and part of your course, you can do a work placement. But also, I believe, depending on what type of visa you have, you are allowed to study, to work for a number of hours. Now, I'm not a visa expert, so I'm not going to be able to tell you the exact sort of rules on that. But yes, if you look into it and you look at the I think the UK visa government website, you can see that you are allowed to work a certain number of hours.
Thank you, Simon, for your presentation and this answer. Just to add to this answer, I'll just give a personal testimonial. I came to the UK as a student. So I had that 20-hour visa that I can only work 20-hour weekly as a student, but there are ample amount of opportunities within Oxford, just around and outside Oxford. If you're looking for a part-time job or a full-time job along with your studies, you can also do full-time during the summer and winter break. So you can work all 40 hours during those times. The university will help you find part-time jobs as well. And since Oxford is a very small community, there are so many local businesses that hire locally. So there's ample amount of opportunities.
Thank you, Manan. We have another question. Could you please explain the architecture foundation requirements?
The architecture, very good question. So I believe it depends where you're coming from. I think for this type of question, because it's quite specific, what I will do is I will leave my email, and you can actually email me directly so I can get in contact with the architecture department, because I know that sometimes they require a portfolio. For all our architecture degrees, you do require a portfolio. So I'll get back to you on that later.
Thank you. We have another student. Is Ghanaian student qualified to apply? Student, can you unmute your mic and be very specific in what terms of applying? Hello, Gifty. Gifty, can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hello. Morning. Yeah. Please, I want to know, there are some universities that don't take certain countries. They don't accept certain countries into their university.
Sorry, Gifty, we can't hear you clearly. Can you just explain in the chat box if that's okay?
Okay.
Thank you. We just continue with the next question. What language test do you accept?
Yes, good question. So the main language test that we normally accept is IELTS, but we do have a list of, I believe, about 8 or 9 different English language tests that we can accept. Now, depending on what course you're applying to, if you go onto our website and you go onto that course, you will see the entry requirements for each course, and it actually lists all of the different English language testing exams that we accept. So you can see if the one you're taking is on there, and if not, then my recommendation is to email us at the admissions@Brookes and check if they can accept it, but it should be on there.
Yeah, thank you. We have another question. Do you offer scholarships for postgraduate courses?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we do have scholarships. Again, there will be a deadline that you'll need to apply for, but I believe it's in May, so it'll be May next year now. And yes, when you apply for your course, you can signify that you would like to apply for a scholarship as well.
Thank you. We have another student asking about PhD programs for your university.
Okay, yeah. So yes, we do offer PhD programs at Oxford Brookes in a number of different subjects. Again, you would be needing to follow the process. It's a slightly different process for applying for a PhD. We have you will actually get academics that are assigned to you. So the university actually decides who will be assigned to you, and they will then be your mentors for the whole of the PhD. So I think my recommendation for you again for this is to go onto our main website. I don't know which PhD you are interested in, and to find out the information from that.
So, the next question is, could you please explain how to apply for hospitality and tourism course?
Yes, of course. So for our hospitality and tourism course, you follow the same steps you would applying for any general course at Oxford Brookes. So you can apply through UCAS. Now, this is something that SIUK can help you with, or you can also apply directly on our website. And again, SIUK can help you with that. You would need to have your current exam qualifications ready. You need to have your English language qualifications ready as well if you're from outside of the UK or from a non-English speaking country. And yes, you need to ensure that you meet all the requirements, but that's how you would apply, yes.
Okay, we have another question asking about when do you have your campus tours?
Yes, so our campus tours can be booked on a weekly basis. So we have a team of student ambassadors who work at the university. We have, I think there's over 50 or over 100 of them who work throughout the year. And what you can do on our website, you can actually go on and book for a particular week. I believe they do one every Monday, if I'm not correct, apart from during summer. And it will be an hour-long tour around our main campus. They'll show you all the facilities. But also, if you are coming from abroad and you perhaps can't make the day, then we can book personalized campus tours for you as well. So you can get in contact with us and we can arrange that for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Students,
Also, a bit on open days. If anyone's interested in next January or September, we are hosting an open day on 7th of October, which is Saturday, I guess. You can come visit the university, talk to student ambassadors, have a look and feel of what the university life will be, talk to our previous students, talk to the course leaders, talk to the teachers, actually. And then, that would be a great opportunity to see. Also, you can see Oxford, how Oxford is, as Simon mentioned about the city center and so many things that students have to do in Oxford.
thank you so much, Manan. Students, if you have any other questions, please drop them in the chat box below, or you can unmute your mic and ask. Also, I will be dropping the link for the YouTube live session, so you can have access to this after the session as well.
I've included all the important links in the chat for everyone, just in case you know how to apply all the PhD programs that we offer, or if you're interested in the motorsport courses, or also about the scholarships. So you can have a look through, browse through what scholarships applies to you, which scholarships are qualified for you, and then you can apply, including those scholarships.
Students, do you have any other further questions? Also, Simon, can I request you to please drop your contact details on the chat if possible?
Yes, absolutely. Let me,
Yes, if anyone is shy to ask questions, feel free to contact Simon on his email address, and then any questions, we can take it from here and direct you to the correct department, be it admissions.
Mhm. We have another question. Can we also apply for foundation?
yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, depending on what your qualifications are, yes, you can apply for the foundations that lead you onto different business courses, or again, these are all on our website. It depends what level you're currently studying at. You might even be able to apply into the first year, but if you don't meet the grades, then yes, foundation is another option.
Yeah, we
we
do have international foundation specifically for international students. I'm just sharing the link in the chat if anyone wants to go and have a look.
Thanks, Manan.
Also, we have another question from a student. Do you help with startups as well?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so as part of our business and enterprise department, they have a kind of funding scheme called Thrive. And this allows students to present their projects. They work alongside academics who give them support. And if they are successful and the academics feel that there's some traction and that they can really bring their business idea into the real world, then yes, they can get funding. So definitely, this is something we encourage, and we'd be delighted to hear from you if you apply.
Also, just adding on to it, Oxford Brookes University Business School also hosts a Business Week challenge wherein different startups from Oxford, local startup companies, or a few big companies around Oxford come, and students get an opportunity to talk to them and work for their business on the problems that they're having. So it's a problem solving competition that is among the students, which is very, very insightful, and you get a lot of opportunities after that. Taking personal example, I joined Business Challenge Week when I was a student at Oxford Brookes, and it helped me in so many ways. I mean, I got an internship experience, I got a future opportunity just because of the Business Challenge Week. So there's so many other activities happening in and around Oxford Brookes University. There's always some event, some fest happening that you can join, that you can participate in, and even make international culture friends and culturally get involved with other international people.
Thank you, Manan. We have a few questions again. So Gifty is asking, do you provide accommodations as well?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we provide accommodation. Yeah, for first year students on campus. We have 750 ensuite rooms, which is right next to the campus, right next to the sports facilities and student bar. So it's kind of like a nice community to live in. Again, Mana, maybe you want to come in on accommodation.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I used to live in student accommodation. I started living in student accommodation. I made a very nice group of friends, some of the local British friends, some international friends. Moreover, when you are an international student, the biggest concern for you is safety. I can assure you that all the Oxford Brookes accommodations, they are managed by 24/7 by the security. You will have safety. It's amazing. You have smoke detectors everywhere in case of fire. There's uh, top class. The architecture, the furniture, everything is furnished and for a very reasonable price considering the current living cost increases in the UK. The accommodation that Oxford Brookes is providing is quite affordable.
We have one more question as well. There's a student who's asking for NHS, that Oxford Brookes is partnered with NHS. Does that help students for recruitment, or how does it work?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, so I believe now on the nursing courses, they have a lot of partnerships with the local NHS hospitals in the local area. I can't give you too many details on this, but yes, it will definitely help if you're talking about maybe recruitment in terms of finding a job. Then yes, a lot of our students on these nursing courses will go on to work for hospitals in the local area and the UK because they have done work placements there or they've had their experience there. So good question.
Exactly. Yeah, talking about work placements, I think 2 of the courses that we offer are fully funded by NHS. So that's a great opportunity if you qualify for that funding. You can NHS will fund your entire course, and after the funding, you also get an internship opportunity with NHS. Talking about current market scenario, I think there's a lot of opportunities in healthcare, and NHS is hiring very actively, very proactively.
I think that's quite attractive to students joining for nursing courses. We have Gifty also saying that she's quite keen to join your institution soon. Students,
That's amazing to hear,
Mhm.
Gifty. We are looking forward to welcoming you soon.
Students, we have another 10 minutes. If you have any other questions, please feel free to ask our representatives. Hello, students. Just reminding you once again that this session is recorded on YouTube. So the link will be shared with you at the end of the session. Thank you.
I think there's a question in the chat. Is accommodation free if I am a scholar? I think the accommodation is not free. Even if you're on a scholarship, the accommodation is completely separate from your course that you apply for and the scholarship that you get through. The accommodation price, I can just share a link with you where you can find all the accommodation prices. I think we have 10 university managed halls, so you have 10 accommodation options that are very close to Oxford Brookes University. I'll just share a link with you wherein you can find all about the prices.
Seeing there's a question, are you used to design drones? What about aviation studies? So no, unfortunately, we don't have specific aviation studies. I think that the closest that you get to that would be, mechanical engineering. I think that course has elements of design, obviously more related to motorsport than aviation, but a lot of similar things. So yeah, I think mechanical engineering could be an interesting course for you, definitely.
Simon, we have a few questions on YouTube as well. So I'm just be reading
Okay.
them out to you. So there's a student asking, can they still apply for postgraduate courses?
So would that be for the September intake?
I think
If
I'm
that's-
assuming.
Yeah, I
Mm.
think, I mean, most of our courses are actually closed now for September. Now, they could try and go through clearing, or have a look if the postgraduate course they like to apply to has a January start, then they could still apply to that before October. We have an October deadline for that.
Okay, perfect. Another question is whether students can apply through foundation year.
Yes, students can apply for foundation year. We have foundation courses, and as Manan mentioned earlier, the International Foundation course diploma as well. So yes, students can apply for that.
Okay, another question. Do you offer forensic science courses?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah.
Which course?
Forensic sciences.
No, I don't believe so. No, we don't offer that course.
Okay. There's another student asking that do you offer fully funded scholarship?
Okay, so the scholarships question, I think Manan left the link up
Yeah.
there, so you can look at depending on what type of course. For the general international scholarship, it's not fully funded, but it obviously does give you, I believe, around £3,000 scholarship. But then there are some courses, I think, like Manan mentioned again, the NHS that are fully funded. So again, it depends which course this particular student you're looking to apply to. You'll need to see what scholarships apply to your course.
Sure.
Yeah, for international students, I think majority there's a common international student scholarship for between £2,000 to £3,000. But that is if you apply probably before 15th of April. And then for European students, there is a EU international scholarship as well. And there's a great scholarship as well. I think these are the three big scholarships for international students. I've included the link. You guys can have a look at all the options that you have. There was another question. Please, I may know the minimum amount of deposit if one gets an offer. I think if you get an offer, uh, uh, there'll be two conditions to fulfill. One of them will be deposit. So it's a very good question. And the deposit amount depends between 3,000 to £8,000, depending on your course. But for majority of courses, it should be around £3,000.
Thank you, Manan. Last few minutes left for the session to end. Students, if you have any other further questions, please drop them in the chat box. We have another question. What is the estimated cost of living in Oxford for a year?
So that's a very good question. So estimated cost of, so this is not including the course. Are we saying this is like, maybe Manan, maybe you can think about your time studying at Oxford.
Yeah, sure. So currently I think average, it's better to bring out average monthly rather than yearly. So you can segregate. I think for me as a student, monthly I was spending on and about around £1,000 on my accommodation and my food apart from my course. So the fees is of course in the range of 15 to £17,000. And then apart from that, on an average, you might spend around £1,000 monthly on your accommodation, on all your food, on your going out with your friends, having some fun activities in Oxford. So yeah, I think monthly a rough figure of around £1,000 would be the average.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, about £1,000.
Yeah, and annually, if you look, it's £12,000 for the year. Average cost of living in Oxford or in the UK. I think if you live in this zone around and near London, I think this is the cost.
Perfect. There's another question. I would like to know if first or second year students can be transferred to your university.
Yeah, good question. So yes, they can. It depends on the course as well. So I know like our business, a lot of our business courses have final year entry, or you can be transferred. What you would need to do is you need to get in contact with our admissions team. I'm just going to write the admissions email here. So this will take you directly through to them, and you can check what the entry requirements would be and if you can transfer onto that particular course. But yes, I know that for lots of the courses it's possible.
We have another question as well. Do you do credit transfer from developing countries?
So, okay, so credit transfer, what I imagine you mean by this is that do we accept sort of, I don't know, different qualifications from around the world, and can we then transfer that into the UK system? Yes, we can. So again, when you apply for a course at Brookes, we have about 100 different qualifications from around the world that we then transfer into the UK credit system. So whatever country you're from, we look at the grades and we have the equivalency in the UK. So yes, in answer to your question, we can do that.
We have last 5 minutes of this session. Anyone wants to ask any questions, please free to do so.
I just wanted to mention one point that was about visa. If you guys have any questions regarding visa, I will drop an email in the chat and you guys can email our international support team, and those guys will help you with your visa compliances and any problems that you have with you.
Simon, just one more request. Can you share your slide where you have your contact details as well? I think our students might lose it in the chat, if that's possible.
You mean on the actual PowerPoint? I don't know if I don't think it had my actual email. What I might do, if I just write it again, is that okay?
Yes, that
And
works
that is-
perfectly fine.
At least
Yes.
it'll be at the bottom. Let's see. Question here.
Yeah. I think it's the same question before.
Okay, yeah, I think it's a similar question. So I think this is Victor, yeah. So yes, that's I think that's what I was answering earlier. You can start your program in another institution, but we can transfer your credits into the UK degree at Brookes, second or third year. It can be done, but you will need to email our admissions team, and we will need to check which course you would like to go on to, and if that's possible.
Thank you, Simon. I think we are at the end of the session. Thank you, students, for joining us. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Manan. So we'll end the session here. I will share the YouTube live session link with everybody. So thank you. See you soon.
Thanks very much, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys. See you later. Bye.